Tools forum, we were talking about, the fact that, people like to customize their front ends. And one of the reasons that, people aren't really very interested in Big Blue is that, you can't customize it and you're stuck with a theme that you don't necessarily like. So I mentioned the possibility that, we could just modify Big Blue to essentially make it more generic. And so that's what I've done here. I basically set something up where you have a background, game list, foreground, and image, video, preview section, and you can basically define, where you want to place them, and you can define the images that you want to use as frames of animation for your background and foreground. And so, just so you could see something concrete, what I did was I took an animated GIF of Nakaruru's stage in Samurai Showdown 2, and I basically set those images to be frames, of an animation cycle for the background. And, there you go. You basically have, the Big Blue game list, all the Big Blue features, but instead of, the fixed mini game, theme, Street Fighter 2 theme, you can basically just choose the images and sounds and layout that you want. So the behavior, of the game list is, basically identical to Big Blue. You get all the raw input stuff. You get the ability to use multiple, mice independently, all that stuff. But basically the mini game is gone. I mean, I guess the upside of this is that the performance is pretty darn good because this isn't really doing anything. Big Blue is actually doing a lot more than this. It has, collision detection and, other game stuff, that eats up cycles. So, this is actually pretty fast. So I think that, a toaster more or less could run this. And it gives you a lot more flexibility, I guess, than you'd have in something like Mala, where you're kind of stuck with, static themes. You're not going to have a lot of animation. Whereas this, you could just say, I want, 20 images to be as frames of animation for my background, and boom, that's what you have. So I don't know. It's a possibility. I hammered this out in like 30 minutes. It's pretty easy to do since it's essentially just stripping away stuff that I already put together for Big Blue. So I guess just let me know if you think this is something worth pursuing. If nothing else, I guess I can just release a source code for it and you do whatever you want with it. There are other front ends like Attract Mode though that are really kind of specializing in all of the customization stuff. But I think that there is a niche there for something that is simple, where you basically just say, okay, I want 8 images to be my background animation, and I want to put my game list here, and I want to put my video and image preview here, and that's it. No scripting, nothing fancy, done deal. So let me know, and we can see where this goes. There are a lot of animated GIFs of video game backgrounds that I think would be really suitable for this, kind of like like the Samurai Showdown 2 one. A lot of great Neo Geo backgrounds I think that would look pretty beautiful set up like this. It is going to be somewhat of a challenge to integrate the video and image previews with this though, because you're going to have to find a place that you could put it in some video game art that's going to fit in and not look stupid. That's why in this case I didn't even include the image and video previews, just because it almost works on its own. It's just kind of like a minimalistic, kind of tasteful theme. I mean, I could almost see just using this even as it is, but it's pretty much going to be whatever you want, I guess. So let me know, and we can decide, whether this is something worth pursuing.